Welcome to Shortstop on Pool, Rack of the Week 103. I want to say welcome to my newest supporter, 50. He makes 10. I've got 10 supporters now. 5 on Patreon. Go over to patreon.com and check them out. Or YouTube, right down maybe over here somewhere, there's a little join button. Got 5 supporters on YouTube. So things are growing. We'll try and do some exciting things. Click on the join button and check out the membership levels. And I want to say thank you to 50, Andreas, Brett, Nate, Jim, Lawrence, Howard, Surgolf, Michael, and Ed. Thank you. Let's get into the rack. This is an example of dealing with problems. I thought this one was kind of interesting. To start with, I've got a break shot that's over 1 diamond from the rack. This kind of break shot, the pocket opening is narrower from that angle. You don't want to do a whole lot with the cue ball. You want to hit it as hard as you're comfortable hitting it. There's almost zero risk of scratching, but I don't want to use any left or right English. I just want to hit this with a center ball and a follow stroke. And I'm not trying to blast the rack, but get the cue ball loose. And that's not too bad. If I had stroked it harder, the cue ball might have followed farther into there. But this is a pretty good result. And on first glance, it looks like, wow, this is great. Everything's wide open. There's almost no balls touching. There's only 3 balls in the rack area. But then you take a little closer look and you're like, uh-oh. I've got 2 balls that need to be moved here, 2 balls that are kind of tied up here. I've got an up table ball, and I have no good break balls. And so on second glance, you look at it and go, I've got troubles. So how do you deal with that? What you do is you deal with it one shot at a time. So as I'm looking at it, to begin with, I cannot shoot this 2 ball past the 4. I cannot see the 4. That would be the shot I would shoot, obviously. So what am I going to shoot? I've got a shot on the 5 if I use a bridge. I'm looking at that now. That's a tough shot. It doesn't lead to anything. I've got to shoot this 14 in the upper corner pocket just to get started. The cue ball is close to it, and it's a cut angle. These are hard to judge sometimes when the cue ball is so close. What I've got going for me is the cue ball is going to hit the 4, and I'm thinking, well, if maybe the 4 will come over for a break shot, maybe not, but at least that's going to stop the cue ball, and I should have a shot on the 2 this way or the 5 this way. So the first problem I'm dealing with is, boy, I'm not trying to do anything but just make this ball, really focusing on center pocket. And no, I didn't hit it very hard either. Could have hit it a little harder because I created another problem right here. So nice thing is that right now, this ball works for a break ball. So maybe I won't have to manufacture a break ball. I got that going for me. But there's 2 big problems. These balls don't go in this pocket. If I get short side, I could shoot either one of them over here. But I've got to clear 3 balls before that. So that's probably not an option. So these are going to need to be bumped or dealt with in some fashion, as well as these 2. How do you deal with it when you got a little bit clustered rack? Don't get worried. Don't get ahead of yourself. Just deal with one problem at a time. So the easiest shot on the table right now, I could shoot the 12 up there. I could shoot the 3 in the side. Those don't really lead to anything. Obviously, the only shot to shoot right now is this 5. So what I'm noticing right now, and I'm going to go take a look at the angle, is that if I can make this 5 and get an angle on the 7, then I can roll forward and nudge the 1. And I think if I do that, maybe I'll make the 1 into a break ball, but I'll have a shot on the 9. So I'm dealing with a problem. Yeah, I'm over here looking at the angle for accomplishing that. Now, it's going to be hard to shoot the 5 without bumping the 7. But the 7 shouldn't move far. Maybe a touch of left English. I want to get the cue ball to go away from the 7. And I should have that angle. Let's see how this turns out. This is a real gentle shot. Oh, I forgot to mention. Take a look. I am recording this Rack of the Week in the tournament room. If you look up in the left here by my face, the tournament room of Q Masters Billiards in Norfolk. Isn't that cool? I think it looks pretty good. This is my first green screen ever, and not too bad. Tell me what you think. Okay, back to the rack. The 7 ball barely moved as I intended. I've got it more angle than I wanted, but it doesn't look too bad. Now, I think I can just use a touch of left English to make sure I contact that 1 and move it. The cue ball shouldn't go far, and I'll have a shot on that 9. By the way, that 6 ball is pretty close to the pocket, and that's kind of an insurance ball up there too. So I've got that in my mind. But one problem at a time. Let's move, make sure we don't miss, and let's move this one ball. Okay, that's marginally successful. The one ball moved much farther than I wanted, and I almost scratched the side. I already motioned at the 11. This is my best shot, is this 11 in the side. I could shoot the 6, but it's kind of a back cut, and the cue ball is going to go flying. I am also thinking about this. Hold on there, Bob. I still have this problem. Now, I'm up against the rail. I'm shooting over the metal, the rubber of the pocket. I have to back cut this ball on the side. I can't do much to control the cue ball. But I can see that if I pocket the ball on the side, the cue ball is going to go between the 3 and the 1, which means it's going directly at my other problem. So I don't need to slow roll this, which is good, because slow rolling it, you can get some drag on this ball and throw it short of the pocket. So I like the fact that it's laying like this means I can stroke it with a medium soft speed that increases the ball pocketing percentage, and I should end up dealing with my second problem. One problem at a time. And okay, I got a little lucky there, but guess what? You have to play well to get lucky. And I knew where the cue ball's going, and I knew what might be likely to happen. Now, I've already taken a look and decided what to do. It's funny that I hit these balls, and they almost went back to the same exact position. But I can see the 2 ball now, past the 4, or past the 9, and I'm hoping that I'm going to knock the 4 ball right up here for a break shot. So I'm thinking about that speed control, and back this way is my insurance ball. So the lesson is, don't panic. Just look at what the table's giving you. Don't try and fix everything at once. Just deal with one problem at a time. So that's what I was doing. Let's see how this shot turns out. It turned out 50%. I got positioned on the 9, but I created another problem. Oh my goodness. You see me tap my knuckles on the table. I was like, oh man, you got to be kidding me. Okay, deal with one problem at a time. So look, don't panic. I'm walking around to take a look. So I've already got it figured out. So I am now realizing that, first of all, this is going to be my break shot. I've run out of balls. There's no way I'm going to make another one. How do I deal with these balls? Well, you want a cut shot that's going to let the cue ball move naturally into them. And that's what the 3 ball does. So I can use the 15 to set up give myself an angle to cut the 3 and open those up. So that's 1, 2 balls that are going to be gone. I'm not going to have many balls left. Okay, so how can I get on this 15 ball? Well, 15 in the side, I can use the 14 to stop the cue ball. And then I'll be on the 15 in the side. If I'm straight in, I should be okay. If I stay below it, it'll be all right. If I come a little bit above it, then I can shoot the 15 in the side and send the cue ball into those. So I think I'm going to be okay. What I don't want to do is hit it with a speed that the 14 marries up to the 13 and creates another problem. So you want to keep all those things in mind. It only takes a couple of seconds to see that. So this is all my focus on pocketing the ball and hitting I want to hit the side. Yeah, I almost didn't do it. I hit that 10 in the face. I wanted to hit the side of it so that the 10 would go this way and the cue ball goes this way. Anyway, turned out well. Both of these balls go in this pocket. I'm dead straight on the 15 in the side. I went and looked at my angle. I just need the cue ball to go forward like an inch, inch and a half. And now I have my angle. What you want to do when you're opening balls like this is you want to split them. You want your cue ball to hit both balls. Don't just try to knock one away. If you hit both balls, then the balls head in separate directions. The cue ball stays in the middle, and you have your best chance of getting a shot on something. So that worked out good. And now I am finally in the end pattern. All the problems have been solved. Don't panic. Just deal with one problem at a time. Keep the cue ball alive and keep the cue ball where you have an easy shot so you're not complicating matters. Now I'm in the end pattern. This is my break ball. There's a few different ways to shoot this. There's no ideal key ball, but any of these balls will work. I'm gonna have to work the cue ball a little bit, but that's okay. We'll get through this. Now, some people might leave the 6 ball, believe it or not, as the key ball, because if you get your cue ball, anywhere on this side, you've got an angle where you can just tap it in and manipulate the cue ball straight at the brake ball. So your cue ball is coming off this rail straight at the brake ball, kind of like that. You've always got an angle no matter where it stops. That's not a bad option. It's not a bad option. This is a difficult brake ball. You don't want to be too far from it. You like to be close. So that's one possibility. And if I was going to do that, I think the pattern looks pretty obvious. If you wanted to use the 6 as a key ball, you'd shoot the 10, and then you're straight on the 1, and then you bounce off the rail from the 4, and then you shoot the 13 and just get in center table, like I said. That's a good pattern. I wouldn't fault anyone for choosing that. I go a little bit different route. I want to use a ball that's down closer to the 12 because I really want to get close to it if I can. So that means the 6 ball is going to be in the middle of my end pattern. So that means I need to go get the 6 ball immediately. So I could shoot the 4 and go back and forth. This isn't 9 ball. That's too tough of a shot. We want something easier. So that means I have to shoot one of these balls. I think the obvious candidate is the 13 and just come up a little bit and get an angle. And then I can bring the cue ball back to center table or a little bit past center table to get a shot on either the 4 or the 10. Yeah, I'm checking to make sure that this is going to work as a brake ball, and it is. It's a half inch or an inch away from the rack, so that this is my brake ball. So yeah, making that decision now. I'm kind of working out the options: 10, 13, 1, 4, 10, 1, 4, 6, 13. No, okay, 13, 6. Come back down. That's what I'm working out right now. And it takes a couple seconds. No need to rush it. And by the way, that's literally what I'm doing. I'm running through the order of balls. This ball, what order is going to work? And I finally arrive at 13-6. So before I shoot the 13, just moving a ball out of the pocket. Right there. Let's see. I just pointed to where I want to get the cue ball for the 6 because you don't want to be straight on that 6. It's a tap in. You need an angle to move the cue ball. And so what do? I had the right line, but I overshot by about 1.5 feet. Just tapping the table to get it to slow down. So I'm too straight. All right, we'll deal with it. So this is 2 rails out of the corner. I'm almost straight in, and I'm going to come tight, 2 rails, lots of right angles like this. The reason why is I'm coming at the 4 ball. If I come too far, I'll shoot the 4. Not far enough, I can shoot the 4 or the 10. And if I come past center table, I've got a great shot on the 10. So you want to keep your options open. And if I came farther, I could shoot the 1 on the side as well. So that's what I did. Actually my best shot right now is on the 4. So now you look at it and you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to shoot the 4. That means I'm either going to go 4-1-10 or 4-10-1. Which is it? Now, I really got to make a firm decision now because you can't play position for both of these. You might think, I can tap this in and try and hold the cue ball right here, but that's a thin cut. And because it's a thin cut, I decide, by the way, I don't want to shoot the 12. You could shoot the 12, just float over, shoot the 1, and then bounce off the rail from the 4. I think it's more controllable to shoot the 1 last. I look at going 4-12-1 or 4-1-12. Sorry, this is the 10. 4-10-1 or 4-1-10. I like using the 1 because with a follow, I like the follow stroke better. With the cue ball here, I can tap the 1 in the side and follow the cue ball off the side rail over for my brake ball. So that's what I decide to do. Having made that decision, I don't want to baby this 4 ball, end up getting some throw or a skid on that 4 ball and miss it. So this 10 goes in this pocket. So I'm going to hit this with a better stroke and just come straight across, well, not into the side pocket, but straight across the table for the 10 in the same pocket. That way I can hit that ball with a nice positive stroke. Now I got my perfect angle or perfect end pattern, 4-10-1. And I looked at my angle. You don't want to be straight on this 1. You can have a nice angle on this 1. It doesn't matter because it's super easy to cut it in the side and spin the cue ball with some right English to keep it up here. Now go take a look. Let me see, right? Well, I kind of pointed in a couple places. What I'm looking at, I'll stop this real quick. What I'm looking at is this. Most break balls, you look at this parallel angle and you say, oh, I want to be close to that. But that's quite a cut. Even a parallel angle, you have quite a cut on this. You sure don't want to be over here and back cut this ball. So in this case, here's your shot line. I kind of want to find the middle ground. I want to be in the middle of this area. That's an outside angle. It's a slight angle on this 12 ball, but that's a much higher pocketing percentage. So that's what I'm looking at. That's the reason why I'm looking at that. And so, as I mentioned, a little bit of right English. And I picked my spot, and I'm really focusing on that spot, which is just past center table. And I hit it too hard. I'm slapping the table trying to get it to slow down. But I stayed within that margin, right? Within that zone. Yeah, I wanted here, came 3 inches too far. But guess what? I'd rather be where the cue ball is now than be here. I'd much rather be there. This is going to be a slight angle break shot, just a slightly below center, kind of a punch draw. You don't want to draw the cue ball very far. You want the cue ball to hit this top ball and just kind of stun to center table. You're not going to open these balls wide. Oh yeah, I play on this Brunswick. I play with 2 extra cue balls. I put 2 cue balls in this pocket because these old Brunswicks can spit balls when you're shooting your break ball hard at a 45-degree angle. Now, you know on this break shot, hey, I'm going to pause it. You know on this break shot what balls are going to move. I'm not going to open the rack. There's no way. What balls are going to move? The 7 ball's going to move, or probably to the side rail and out. So I might get a shot on the 7 in the side. The 6 ball's going to go this way, and this 11's going to go this way. A couple other balls might come loose, but those 3 balls are the ones that are going to move. That's why you want the cue ball just right here in the center table. You're likely to get a shot this way or on that ball on the side. And that's all you're trying to achieve on this type of break shot. Now, I didn't pull my cue ball back. I didn't draw it enough. I just kind of stunned it off. Because of that, I don't have a shot on the 7 on the side. But fortunately, I do have a shot here, that's planned. That's not an accident. And I wonder if you can see my next shot. I'm going to show it. What would you shoot? What would you play position for? Take a look. It's just ideal. It's just like the perfect straight pool re-break shot. I'm going to have to tap the 11 in softly and use a lot of left spin because the cue ball is going to go to the rail and I want the cue ball to open up wide. What I'm looking at is shooting the 8 ball here as a re-break. And look, I've got a catcher's mitt. I've got a pocket to catch the cue ball. So I want to stay low on this 8 ball with a follow stroke to just open this rack. And that's like an ideal re-break shot. So I'll show that shot into the next rack just because it's so pretty. This could have been part of my Rack of the Week 100 where I just showed balls opening up. So just real soft, a lot of left English to get it open up. You're going to see the cue ball hit the pack, back up and go forward. 0 chance of scratching. The whole table should be wide open after this. Beautiful. Beautiful result. You got a few balls to choose from. Notice how the cue ball backed up and then went forward. Just a perfect result. And the run continues. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. See you next week on Rack of the Week.